Hey everyone, welcome back. So I hope you all had a great weekend. We are officially in October now. We got obviously the markets going up. So we'll take a look at how the markets did, how Bitcoin did, Ethereum did as well. We'll also take a look at the miners, see how they did today. For the most part, they were in the green, some were in the red. But obviously we got production updates for September. So Bitfarms production update, we'll talk about the numbers there. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be, but it wasn't that bad. We'll get into all the details on them. DMG also will get into their details, what they provided as well, and we'll call it pretty much a day here. So as always, you guys know the drill here. I'm invested in the following coins and companies. This is not financial advice, for entertainment only. If you enjoy this type of content, please hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. That's all I ask of you guys. All right, so let's take a look at the numbers or the market here really quick, and then we'll get into the other news. So S&P 500 was obviously up today 2.59%. Dow Jones was up 2.66%. NASDAQ was up 2.27% up today. So obviously a great start to October, at least for the markets. Bitcoin's up a little bit as well. So let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin was up today 3.01% to, it closed at 19,633. It is up higher now, or actually it's a little bit lower now. It's at 19,590. So it did bounce off of our trend line here that we had a triangle drawn here as far as, how things were trending. And we did bounce off of our bottom line of the trend line here a couple of times. We did it Saturday, Sunday, and today, Monday, we obviously bounced off of it as well. We are above our resistance line of 19,500. We're still not looking too good as far as the RSI is concerned. We're at 48 right now. Last time we were close to that, we were higher in price. We were higher in price on it on the daily chart. If you look at the 1 hour chart, I mean, we've kind of went up here a little bit on the RSI as well to the oversold territory, about 68. We're really close to the 70 mark, which is usually a territory for being oversold. The RSI has come down a little bit. We're at 60 right now. And last time we were right around here. So we are seeing, at least I'm seeing here, at least right now, a reversal here. It's starting to look a little bit more bullish. And why does that keep doing that? So yeah, right now we're seeing a little bit of a bullish reversal on it as far as the RSI is concerned. Before we were basically going down in price, RSI was either flat or going up. We are seeing a little bit of a reversal right now, so that's actually a good sign here. So we may be having a pretty good October here if this plays out, continuing to play out basically throughout the rest of the weeks and days in October. We might be in a good month. Typically, October is a pretty good month anyways for Bitcoin. On the average, we're up 30+% on it. So hopefully that stays true this time around as well. So that's Bitcoin. Ethereum was also, let's look at the daily here. Ethereum was up 3.62% on the day, closed at 1,323. We are a little bit below that right now at 1,320. RSI is also kind of flat here on the daily chart right now. We can see that we are at 42 right now. Last time we were close to that was back here on the 17th of September. We were much higher in price, so I'm still waiting for that reversal to happen. And Ethereum along with Bitcoin on the daily chart. If that happens, then I think we'll be in good shape. Looking at the 1 hour chart on Ethereum, we can see here that RSI is at 58. And last time we were close to that, we were right around here. We're pretty close to it. And price was lower. So we're seeing the same thing with Ethereum as we did with Bitcoin. On the 1 hour chart, it's starting to look a bit more bullish. So that's a good sign there. Okay, let's take a look at the miners here really quick, and then we'll get into the news actually. So Any was, let's go to the daily chart here. Any was down 0.27% to 44 cents. And Argo was up 7.34% to 40.79 cents. Bit Digital was up 3.33% to $1.24. Bitfarms was up 2.86% to $1.08. CleanSpark was basically flat on the day. Cores was up 5.38% to $1.37. DigiHost was up quite a bit here, 10.77% to 79 cents. DMG was up 5.82% to 18 cents. Greenidge was up 1% to $2.02. Hive was up 2.93% to $3.87. Hut 8 was up quite nicely up today, 7.3% to $1.91. Iris Energy was actually down 1.94% to $4.05. Luxfolio was down 14.47% to 5 cents. Marathon was up 3.45% to $11.08. Austin was down 2.67 to 42 cents, and Austin just continues to go down. They're hitting new 52-week lows here. Looking at the chart right now, Riot was up 2.57% to $7.19. Soluna was down 0.29% to $1.71, and Stronghold was up 4.81% to $1.09. So it looks like they're possibly bouncing off their bottom here a little bit. We'll see how that one plays out as well. So those are the miners. Like I said, it was a pretty much mixed day here on the miners themselves. Markets were up, Bitcoin was up, and Ethereum was up, so that was a good sign as well. All right, let's take a look at our... something else I forgot. Bitcoin having 534 days away, so we're getting closer to it each and every single day. The hash rate has reached a new high here. We reached on the 7-day average here 240 million terahashes. So that is our new all-time high currently. If we look at the raw values, we can see here that we peaked at roughly 282 million terahashes. Previous one to that was 281. So we are continuing to increase our hash rate on the Bitcoin network. All right, so that is that. Let's take a look at Bitfarms here first, and we'll get into DMG, and we'll look at all the numbers that I have for them. So Bitfarms provides September 2022 production and mining operation update. Here is the important part. So here's a quote from them. Accomplishing a significant milestone in early September, we initiated production in Rio Cuarto, Argentina with our first 10 megawatt module, said Geoff Murphy, President and COO of Bitfarms. As of September 30th, we installed 1,751 miners at this location and have pending 3,000 miners at Argentina Customs, slotted to add to production throughout Q4 of 2022. So that's obviously great news there. And then during the month, we also began construction at our second 50 megawatt warehouse in Rio Cuarto, which is on target to be completed during Q2 of 2023. So we're at least 6 months away from that. But that's obviously good news there that they are continuing to expand and grow. Here's the key performance indicators. So total Bitcoin mined was 481. Month-end operating hash rate was 4.2. And BTC average per exahash was 122, which is obviously a decrease here of 141 from August. Select operating highlights. So 4.2 exahash online as of September 30th, up 180% from September of 2021 and 8% from August 31. So that's good. They are continuing to install miners. That's a good thing there. Average, I don't really care about the average hash rate. What I really want is obviously the end of the month hash rate with where they are at right now. So that is 4.2, and then 122 BTC average. Obviously, that was down 42% from 211 in September of 2021 and down 13.5% from 141 in August. Obviously, that is contributable to the difficulty of Bitcoin network. That has gone up, so that's going to decrease the amount they're earning. And 481 new BTC mined during September 2022, up 57% from September of 2021 and down 10% from August 2022. And then here's the reason why. So the decrease from August 2022 production was primarily due to a 13% increase in network difficulty, a brief farm outage, and a shorter month. So those are all true. So we did have obviously one less day in the month. Difficulty obviously did increase. And them having their farm outage, they didn't say how long they were out, but we can kind of look at the numbers that I have here, kind of guesstimate as far as how many days they were not mining for. Let me see here. So Rio Cuarto, we kind of covered that already. Sherbrooke, Quebec development continued on schedule. So as the 1,800 square foot expansion at the Garlock farm is nearing completion, 6 megawatts is expected to be energized in October and the full 18 megawatts by the end of the year. So that's obviously good. That's a plus. Phase 3 of the bunker is progressing as planned, with the remaining 12 megawatts of this farm expected to be online by the end of 2022. So that's also great news there. And then Sherbrooke, upon the retirement of the De La Pointe farm, will consist of 3 farms with locations in close proximity to each other that are scheduled to have 96 megawatts operational by the end of the year. So that's also good there. Here's their breakdown of mining from January, basically. They have, for the most part, been growing here. Obviously, February was a lighter month, less days in it than January. March obviously was a good month for them. Nice increase here from January. April, they grew as well. May, they grew. June, they went down a little bit here. July was obviously a great increase from June and May. August was a great increase as well. And then September, obviously, they had a little down month here. But overall, they have been continuing to grow quite nicely. Financial updates. So they sold 544 BTC during September 2022, generating proceeds of 10.66 million. That was obviously good. Continue to deleverage the company's balance sheet by making principal pay downs totaling 3.8 million and 26.8 million during September and the third quarter, respectively, and retiring 3 higher interest rate equipment loans. So that's good. They're obviously paying down their debt, and that's going to help them out in the long run. Let's see here. Improve fleet efficiencies and optimize the rollout schedule of miners by selling 3.8 million of surplus miners in Q3 2022 and reducing contractual associated liabilities and CapEx requirements. So that's good. I would have liked to have them provide as far as what did they actually get rid of, how many miners, and the average hash rate for those. That would have been nice to know there. And then they hodl basically 2,065 BTC in custody on September 30th, representing a total value of approximately 40 million based on BT price of 19,400. So that is all good and well there. Sorry if I sound a little stuffy. I have a runny nose for some reason. I don't know what's allergies or what's going on. All right, let's take a look at the numbers that I have for them. So Bitfarms, here's what we have on them. Shares outstanding is about 197 million right now. Market cap is 213 million. Stock price about $1.08 right now. They have, let me see here, current hash rate of 4.2 exahash. Future hash rate is supposed to be 7.5 exahash. So they are 55.94% operational right now. Let me see if I can zoom this in, make it a little bit bigger for you guys to see. Hash rate percentage growth left, and they have about 78% hash rate growth left. Number of miners is about 45,538, and their average hash rate per miner is about 92.2 terahashes per miner. Current BTC price, we're here. BTC HODL, that's what I want to go into. So BTC HODL 2,065, valued at approximately 39 million right now. HODL to market cap is about 18.56%. And each share has about 20 cents of HODL position in it right now. So looking at their production here for the month, they mined 481 BTC compared to August 534. That's obviously a decrease of 9.93% roughly, and it generated them about $9,525,724 for the month. And that is based on the average price of Bitcoin, which we have at 19,804, I believe, for the month. So I started using the average Bitcoin price as of August instead of the ending price, as I figured that might be a little bit better gauge as far as what their income could actually be. So it's not only for them, but it's for everybody is using the Bitcoin average price right now. They did obviously sell 544 BTC at about 10.7 million roughly. And that obviously will help them generate about 32.2 million right now in the third quarter based on July's numbers, August numbers, and obviously the September numbers that we have right now. They did have a nice increase here in August of 11.9 million, but obviously this month was a little bit down, basically because of their farm being down for a couple of days. But we'll take a look at the numbers here in a second. So that's where we are with quarterly results right now. That's kind of where we're looking to get to. We'll see how close we can get to it. I'm hoping I'm going to be a little bit closer than the 9.68% that I had here in the second quarter. And that was basically because Bitcoin price was falling throughout that period. And it made it kind of difficult to accurately come up with the numbers that they mined at. So that's why I'm thinking the average price for Bitcoin will be a better suit here. Okay, so going into what they actually installed here in September, I had them basically install 2,900 of these 103 terahash miners. That gave them about an extra almost 300 petahash right now. 288 is what I have them at. And that got us to the number that they reported at 4.2 exahash. So that's pretty close to where we are as far as regarding what they actually provided as well. The only thing is I did change the number of days that these miners were in operation. So the ones that got installed were 20 days, and the rest of the miners were at 26.5 days. So that would be a decrease of, 3.5 days, 3.5 days that they were possibly not mining because the farm was down. That's my estimate on it. So those are the numbers for that, and that gets us pretty close to the 9.5 million that we had over there. Now, looking at institutions really quick as well. Institutions did increase a little bit here, 211. Shares decreased actually to 32.61 million, and percentage owned went down a little bit to 16.37 as well. We still have the same buy ratings, so one buy rating. The price targets did come down a little bit to $3.62 from $3.80. And they have been obviously coming down here since, basically since, looks like April. They've been coming down here every month. And that's based on Bitcoin falling down in price. So that's kind of where they have them at, $3.62. Okay. So let's take a look at where I actually have them at, based on the numbers that we do have right now. So we're using the last 3 quarters of revenue of 141 million. Those are the actual reported numbers for just their self-mining. And we're using the current quarter of about 32.2 million to get us to a combined total of 173 million. And then if we're using the 50% net income from gross revenue, we're looking at 86.9 million. And that would get us to, with a P of 20, I'm looking at $8.81. This is where I think they should be valued at closely to that. I think that would be a fair value for them based on what they're actually generating here, based on the number of shares they have, obviously. But that's kind of where I have them at. And then if we use 75% net income from gross revenue, they would be at $13.21. Sorry for the sound there being out. I thought I was going to sneeze. Allergies. Don't like them. Let's see what else we have here. So that's kind of where I'm looking at right now. They are obviously trading a lot lower when it comes to the numbers. They're like at a 3 PE right now. If you just look at the numbers here, about a little bit less than like a 2.5 PE right now. Which obviously, for the most part, most of the miners are that low as well. So I think once Bitcoin starts going back up and we start getting into a bull run, once we're closer to the halving event, I think a 20 PE is a fair average there to use on all these miners. Some of them that aren't growing that much will use it a little bit lower PE on it. But for the most part, the ones that are growing quite nicely, we'll use a 20 PE. And like I said, 881 to 1321. And if Bitcoin starts going up nicely, that is probably going to increase as well. And so we're looking at, if Bitcoin goes back up to closer to 50,000, we're looking at $11.43 possibly to $17.14. And then if it goes to 75,000 or close to that, $13.55 to $20.33. Obviously, that would be almost a 20x increase from where they are right now. All right. So overall, I do like the fact that they're still growing. They're installing their hash rate nicely. 300 petahash was a nice increase for September. They are building out in Argentina, which is also great to see. And they're just continuing to grow. Obviously, the only bad thing was they were shut down for a couple of days. But as the cooler weather approaches us, especially since we're in October now, I would imagine that the farm should be operational for pretty much all the days in the month, unless you start seeing electricity costs going way up where it doesn't make sense for them. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. So overall, fantastic numbers here and growth, and something we want to see them continuing to do. All right, so that's Bitfarms right there. Let's take a quick peek at DMG. So there's a little bit news as far as DMG is concerned. So DMG blockchain solution goes live on the Bosonic network. Never heard of this before, so I was kind of interested to read about. Interested to read about that. They obviously also provided their September mining results, which were kind of buried here in the article. So we'll just get into it really quick here. So obviously they announced it has been, the company has been onboarded and is now actively trading on the Bosonic network using Bosonic's decentralized financial market infrastructure, DFMI technology. DMG is exchanging its Bitcoin to fiat currency at a lower cost with lower risk versus traditional exchanges. So that was obviously something that piqued my interest right there. In addition, DMG is working with Bosonic to offer its DFMI technology to all Terra Pool members. So obviously DMG has created the Terra Pool as well. Continuing on here, the partnership with Bosonic provides key capabilities and benefits, including cross-custodian trading and settlement of transactions from users' own custodial accounts, greater security of users' Bitcoin as they never touch a traditional exchange wallet. So that is obviously a good thing there. Anytime you put your Bitcoins on an exchange, basically they're no longer yours. They're in custody of the exchange. If the exchange gets hacked, you basically could lose all that Bitcoin. So that's obviously a good thing there. Ability to set limit orders for buy and sell transactions. That's pretty standard. Real-time monitoring of bid-ask spread from a tradable aggregation of top exchange and market makers streaming liquidity instead of intermediaries quoting and re-quoting pricing. So that's actually kind of interesting there. And then instantaneous settlement for each buy-sell transaction and extremely fast transfer of BTC to fiat. So that's also pretty interesting there. And then self-service exchange delivering reduced fees versus traditional OTC desks. So that's good there. So we'll have to see how that actually helps them out and if others are going to be joining this as well. Now, September preliminary mining results. So DMG mined 77 BTC with 0.65 exahash realized hash rate. Not sure what they mean by realized hash rate. They were higher, I believe. Last month they were around 700 petahash. This is 650 petahash, so that's actually a decrease there. So I would have liked to have seen at least if they provided an average or at least the end of the month hash rate and the reason why they're actually lower. So that's kind of a little gripe there. And DMG's Bitcoin balance as of September 30th was 344 Bitcoin. And then DMG is on target with respect to its original schedule for received miner deliveries for growing its hash rate to 1 exahash by the end of the calendar year of 2022. So that's actually pretty good there. That would be another 350, possibly petahash of growth left for them. And then obviously we want to hear something about them growing further beyond the 1 exahash, which hopefully we'll have some news coming out within the next couple of weeks, months, with them targeting to maybe get to 2 exahash in 2023 or 3 exahash or something. We want to see growth. This is also obviously subject to receipt, installation, operation of the additional miners. DMG also announced the granting of 1,697,500 stock options to directors and employees of the company. The options are exercisable for a period of 5 years at a price of 24 cents per share and will vest as to 25% of each of the 6, 12, 18, and 24-month anniversaries of the grant. So basically over 2 years. And that is all that we have for them. So let's take a look at DMG here really quick, and we'll call it a day. So DMG has 167 million shares out. Their current stock price is 18 cents. Market cap is 30 million right now. And let's see here. Current hash rate is 767. That should be lower. Why is that higher? Oh, because the other months are still popping up. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. So the other months I still have it at 767 petahash. So that's why it's coming up as that. But right now they reported they are at 651 petahash. Future hash rate 1 exahash is where we have them at, and that's what they want to get to by the end of the year. They are currently 73.54% operational, and their hash rate growth is basically now probably like 45% growth based on where they are. Number of miners, 7,550. Average hash rate per miner is about 101.5, which is pretty good. BTC HODL is 344 BTC. That's valued at about 6.6 million right now. HODL to market cap is about 21.93%. And each share has about 4 cents of HODL in it right now. Okay, take a look at the numbers here. So they have been growing here from the beginning of the year. They were at 64. They went down a little bit to 63 BTC mined, to 74, to 88. And then they had a problem back in May. They only mined 48. They did increase that to 76 in June, which was good. But then they went down again in July to 54. August was 69. And September was 77. So we're now seeing possibly continued growth here, which is good to see. That obviously equates to about 1.5 million in revenue for the September month. And then that gets us to about 4.2 million for the quarter right now, which is obviously a pretty good decrease from the second quarter, which was 6.4 million or 6.9 million. And so that's almost, 2.7 million in decreased revenue for them. So that's obviously not good. So that's why you want to see the miners growing faster than obviously the decrease in price and the hash rate and difficulty, everything else considered. You want to see that growth being faster than that. Let's see here. They did sell 95 BTC, it looks like, for 1.8 million roughly in September. And here's what we did in September to get them to the 651 petahash. So we took out some miners here. We took out 30 of these 100 terahash miners here. We took out also 30 of them here, 129 and 551 of these miners here to get them to the 651 petahash for the month, and also to get them to the 1.5 million in revenue. They were also not operating for the full month. They were operating at about 21 and a half days. So they were down 8.5 days roughly in not operation. Maybe they're getting better pricing from the electricity if they put it back in the network. That could have been the case there, but they didn't provide the information for us, so we just don't know. So there's their production there. They were supposed to be at 767 petahash, but obviously they reported 651, so that's what we're going with. Let's take a look at institutions. Institutions stayed the same. Shares went down a little bit to 2.76 million from 2.83. Percentage owned went down a little bit also to 1.65% from 1.69. We still have one buy rating for them, and price target is at 72 cents for the high, average, and low. That's obviously a decrease here from $1 back last month. Okay. And now when we look at all the financials that we have here for the current quarter and the last 3 quarters, we're looking for a combined total of about 30.7 million right now. And if we're using the 50% net income from gross revenue, we're looking at $1.84 with a P of 20. And if we're using 75% net income, we're looking at $2.76. But obviously, they don't have a lot of growth left in them. So could see them easily getting to maybe a P of 15, maybe between 12 and 15, so $1.10 to $1.65 right now. Obviously, if Bitcoin goes up, we're looking at $1.35 to 202. And if Bitcoin goes up, well, you could get them to maybe a 15, so $1.68 to $2.52. And if Bitcoin goes to 75, which I don't think is going to happen this year or anytime within the next 6 months, we would be looking at $1.93 to $2.89. So I do think that they are still way undervalued, as are most miners right now. So not a great month for them. Bitcoin production was great. Obviously, they increased that. They didn't increase their hash rate, which would have been nice to see. And they at least, looks like, stayed in line with last month as far as revenue was concerned. They got 1.43, so they're a little under that. This month, obviously, Bitcoin has come down in price, and that obviously affected it as well, even though they increased their BTC hodl there. And looking at their BTC per petahash, they are at 0.1183, which is actually pretty good here, considering that they were 0.09 here. So that has increased or improved. So that's a good sign there, at least on that part. I think they could have been a lot higher had they been able to mine for the whole month, it looks like, and had they been able to increase their hash rate as well. So that's DMG. I want to take a quick look at Bitfarms, see what they come in at on their... Yeah, so that was actually a decrease here for them at 0.1145 compared to 0.1368 in August for BTC per petahash. So that is where we are with the numbers. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously, and hopefully I won't have this running nose tomorrow. I sound congested, I can feel it. And hope you guys are okay with it. But yeah, that's it. We'll see obviously who provides the numbers for tomorrow. Usually CleanSpark, Core Scientific is pretty good at getting it out there pretty quickly. So are some of the other miners, and then we'll have to wait for the rest of them to show up as well. So when they do, we'll obviously cover them and talk about them there. But yeah, that is all I got for you guys. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Spreadsheets available to my Patreon members as always. Thank you to everyone there for their continued support. That's it. Love you all. Hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next one.